I'm going to play the Dutch defense. It's what you play against d4 or anything other than e4. You can get away with playing Dutch. I like to play whenever I can. So Dutch defense starts off with f5, the king's bishop. Up 2 puts pressure on the e4 square for white. White usually goes after the e5 square. So you put more pressure on the e4 square. Then you got a fianchetto kingside. When you see the knight on f3, I usually like to push d6 right away. Takes away the outpost for the knight. Then I castle. I like to push c6 first before I push the e5 pawn. Again, it takes away the middle 4 squares there for white. So if you ever see h4 pushed, go ahead and try to lock it up. If you let white push the h pawn all the way, it tears up your king side, and it's not fun to play anymore. So white usually goes to knight g5 a lot. So what I do is I slide the queen over to prepare the e5 push. So when you get the e5 push, they usually trade, and then bishop gets kicked. So I get tempo with that move, and I get another tempo move with this. So bishop gets kicked again. In this case, they're going to decide they want to trade knight for rook. Oh, knight plus bishop for rook. So you gladly take that. That's 2 minor pieces that are attacking you for a rook that's not really doing anything. All right, so the Dutch, you can have these nice bishop pair attacks towards the queen side. I see an outpost on d3, so I'm going to try to get there. That's a free pawn, so I go and snag it. And they take... I already took a free pawn back, so it's still okay now. Also, I'm up 1 from the rook and bishop knight exchange, so I'm not worried about taking that back right away. I'm going to try to get a pawn push. I decide to push, so I'm going to go to the outpost here. It threatens 3 things. There's a bishop, threatens rook fork, and a rook queen fork. So they can't stop it all in one move. So they choose to go up the rook. So when you decide which rook to take the one that's not attacking. So I'm going to take that one and force the rook to a bad file. So I'm trying to open up the A file. So they fork me. I'll give up the bishop for the knight. Knights can be dangerous in these Swiss cheese kind of positions where there's holes all over the board. So I'm gladly to get rid of the knight if he wants to. So here it is. I'm going to go ahead and break through here, or force him to push it. So then I have 2 attacks with a knight. Got the outpost on e4. Got the b pawn on b3. So they choose to save the b3 pawn, so I get the outpost. Now e5 is a threat. You can't save it. All right, here I get the fork. King is forced to retreat. I'm going to take the knight. I'm going to use the knight, take the rook, which is a covered check on the king. Bishop will have to take. Queen takes. This will queen. Black resigns, or white resigns here.